I always thought karma would feel sweeter than this. Standing here watching my parents beam with pride as they tell me they're selling my childhood home to fund my brother's latest get rich quick scheme, I realize karma isn't sweet at all. It's cold, like the smile I'm forcing onto my face right now. My name is Christine, and I'm about to teach my family a lesson about consequences. The irony? They have no idea I'm the one who saved this house from foreclosure 5 years ago. The deed sits in my name, a secret I've kept while watching them shower my younger brother Bentley with endless praise and second chances. Isn't it wonderful? Mom clasps her hands together, pearls clicking against her wedding ring. Bentley's CBD business plan is revolutionary. This house sale will give him the startup capital he needs. I take a slow sip of wine, buying time to compose myself. And where will you and Dad live? Oh, we'll downsize to that condo complex by the golf course. Dad waves dismissively. It's time to let go of this old place anyway. The old place they're so eager to dismiss holds 28 years of memories. The window seat where I studied for my CPA exam. The kitchen where I learned to cook because Mom was too busy attending Bentley's baseball games. The creaky third stair I'd skip when sneaking down to do extra chores, hoping to earn a fraction of the attention they lavished on my brother. You're so successful, Christine. Mom reaches across the dinner table to pat my hand. You don't need memories or a house that ties you down. You've got your fancy apartment and your career. Bentley slouches in his chair, flashing that trademark grin. Yeah, sis, you've always been the responsible one, the achiever. His tone carries that familiar edge of resentment. I think about the maxed out credit cards in my desk drawer, the ones I used to save this house when Dad's investment opportunity went south. The promotion I turned down because moving would have meant not being here for their endless emergencies. Let me handle the paperwork, I hear myself say. I know some excellent real estate attorneys. Always so helpful. Dad beams, but his eyes are already drifting to Bentley. Son, tell your sister more about this CBD thing. She might want to invest. I tune out Bentley's rehearsed pitch, remembering the night I signed those mortgage documents. The loan officer had looked at me strangely when I insisted on keeping the arrangement private. Your parents won't know you're their safety net? She'd asked. No, they wouldn't. Just like they didn't know about the property tax payments, the insurance premiums, or the repairs I quietly funded. Just like they never knew I'd skip meals in college to send them grocery money while they paid Bentley's party school tuition. Earth to Christine. Bentley snaps his fingers in front of my face. You zoned out. I was saying how this is going to be huge, like Silicon Valley huge. Sorry, I smile. Just thinking about the paperwork we'll need, there's quite a bit involved in a property sale. Mom stands to clear the plates, pausing to kiss Bentley's forehead. My brilliant boy. I always knew you'd do something amazing. I help her carry dishes to the kitchen, muscle memory guiding me through the motions of loading the dishwasher. Through the window, I can see the old maple tree where I'd hide to read books, pretending I didn't hear them praising Bentley's C-plus grades while my straight A's gathered dust on the fridge. You'll come to the signing, won't you? Mom asks, handing me a serving bowl. It would mean so much to your brother. I think about the power of attorney document tucked in my safe at home, the one that gives me complete control over this property's fate. Of course, I say, I wouldn't miss it. Later, as I stand in the driveway, keys in hand, I look up at the house that holds so many secrets, my sacrifices, their betrayals, the truth about who really saved this family from financial ruin. You have no idea what you've just signed up for? I whisper to the darkened windows. My phone buzzes, a text from my friend Jolie, who happens to be the best real estate attorney in 3 counties. Did you tell them? I type back, no, but I will. They're about to learn that karma comes with compound interest. I start my car, hands steady on the wheel despite the storm brewing inside me. They want to sell my house to fund another of Bentley's disasters? Fine. But first, they're going to learn what it feels like to have everything they took for granted pulled out from under them. Sometimes the best revenge isn't served cold. Sometimes it's served with a signature on the dotted line. Are you absolutely sure about this? Jolie spreads the documents across her mahogany desk, each paper representing another piece of my calculated response. Once we start this process, there's no going back. I lean forward in my chair, pointing to the deed. Look at the date, Jolie. 5 years ago, I saved them from foreclosure. 5 years of watching them drain my accounts while praising Bentley's entrepreneurial spirit. I'm done. Okay, but let's review what you've gathered. Jolie pulls out a legal pad. We have the original deed transfer, power of attorney documentation, proof of all payments you've made. A knock at her office door interrupts us. Christine, thought I'd find you here. Bentley, of course. He's wearing that stupid startup founder outfit, blazer over t-shirt, trying too hard to look casual but successful. I click my phone's voice recorder on beneath the desk. Hey, sis, the success. He drops into the chair next to me. Just the person I wanted to see. Got time for your favorite brother? I'm in a meeting, Bentley. This'll just take a sec. He grins at Jolie. Mind if I borrow her? Family stuff. Jolie gives me a knowing look. Take your time. These property documents aren't going anywhere. I follow Bentley to the lobby where he immediately launches into his pitch. So I've been running the numbers on this CBD thing. With your financial expertise, we could really make this huge. You want me to invest? I keep my voice neutral, professional. Well, yeah, I mean, you're always saying how families should support each other. He runs a hand through his carefully messy hair. Mom and Dad are putting up the house. Least you could do is chip in some capital. I think about the stack of credit card statements in my desk, the ones showing thousands spent on emergency home repairs while Bentley blew through his third startup fund. Send me your business plan, I say. I'll look it over. Actually, he pulls out some crumpled papers. I brought it. We could go over it now, maybe grab coffee. 45 minutes later, I'm sitting in an overpriced cafe, watching my brother explain how he'll revolutionize the CBD industry with zero market research and even less understanding of basic business principles. See this projection? He points to a graph that looks like it was drawn by an optimistic kindergartner. We'll be at million in revenue by month 3. Interesting. I take photos of every page with my phone. And your startup costs? That's where the house comes in. We'll need about 400 grand to really do it right. I nearly choke on my coffee. The house is worth 750 minimum. Yeah, but he lowers his voice. I've got some obligations to clear up first. Investment debts. You know how it is. Gambling debts. Has to be. I make a note to have Jolie investigate. Send me the contact info for these investors, I say, for due diligence. Come on, sis. Don't you trust me? His smile falters slightly. Mom and Dad do. Mom and Dad aren't financial consultants. I close his proposal. I'll need to review everything properly before making any decisions. Back at Jolie's office, I drop the business plan on her desk. Look what our boy Wonder brought me. She flips through it, eyebrows rising. This isn't a business plan. This is a fantasy novel with numbers. Keep reading. It gets better. Christine? Jolie sets the papers down, her expression serious. I have to warn you. Once we go through with this, you can't unsee what it does to people, even family. I walked to her window, watching traffic below. They stopped being family the moment they decided to sell my house out from under me. The house I saved, the house they never even thanked me for. And you're sure about using the power of attorney clause? They signed it themselves, remember? When I took over the mortgage? I turned back to her. They were so relieved to have their financial problems magically solved, they didn't even read the fine print. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. Bentley says you're being difficult about the business plan. Why can't you support your brother like we do? I show it to Jolie, who shakes her head. They really have no idea what's coming, do they? No, I say, starting to gather the documents. But they will. Schedule that family brunch we discussed. It's time to start the next phase. The fake property sale signing? I nod, feeling a cold certainty settle over me. Let's see how they like having their future decided by someone else's signature. As I leave Jolie's office, another text comes through, this time from an unknown number. Is this Christine? We need to talk about Bentley. There's something you should know. Vanessa. I save the number. Looks like karma's about to call in all its debts at once. The cafe where I agreed to meet Vanessa sits in a quiet part of town, far from my family's usual haunts. She's already there when I arrive, fidgeting with a manila envelope, her blonde hair pulled back in a messy bun. I recognize her from old Facebook photos, Bentley's ex from 3 years ago. Thanks for meeting me, she says as I sit down. I've been trying to work up the courage to contact you for months. Why now? She pushes the envelope across the table. Because I saw the listing for your parents' house, I know what Bentley's planning to do with the money, and it's not a CBD business. I open the envelope, pulling out a stack of papers, casino markers, loan shark IOUs, payment demands with threatening language. He owes over 300,000, Vanessa says quietly, to people you don't want to owe money to. And you know this because I was there when he took out the first loans. She wraps her hands around her coffee cup. But that's not the worst part. A waitress stops by. I order an espresso, waiting until she leaves before continuing. What's the worst part? Vanessa pulls out her phone, scrolls through photos, and hands it to me. The image shows a toddler, maybe 2 years old, with Bentley's distinctive green eyes. Meet Jamie, your nephew. Her voice cracks. The nephew your parents paid me to keep quiet about. The espresso arrives. I down it in one shot, barely tasting it. Start from the beginning. When I got pregnant, Bentley panicked. Told your parents. Next thing I know, your mother's at my door with a check and a non-disclosure agreement. Vanessa pulls out more papers. They paid me to move away, to never contact Bentley again. Said it would ruin his future. How much? 50,000. Enough to start over somewhere else, they said, but not enough to raise a child alone? She wipes her eyes. I tried to tell them I didn't want money. I wanted Bentley to take responsibility. But your mom, she said I was trying to trap him, that I'd ruin their perfect family. Perfect family, I almost laugh. There's more. Vanessa hands me another envelope. Hospital bills, letters, all addressed to Bentley, care of your mother. She's been intercepting them for years, paying me off in smaller amounts to keep quiet. I spread the documents across the table. Each one is a piece of evidence, a nail in the coffin of my family's facade. Why tell me this now? Because I saw Bentley last week at a casino. Vanessa's hand shakes slightly. He was with those loan sharks. They were persuasive about payment terms. When I heard about the house sale, she shrugs. I couldn't let your parents lose everything to cover his gambling debts, not when they already chose him over their own grandson. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. Brunch tomorrow to discuss the sale. Bentley's so excited. Does Jamie know about Bentley? I ask. No, he thinks his dad was a sperm donor. Vanessa gathers her things. I should go. But Christine, whatever you're planning with that house, make it count. After she leaves, I call Jolie. Tell me you're sitting down, I say when she answers. Why? Because I just met your star witness. And wait until you see what she brought me. An hour later, Jolie stares at the document spread across her desk. This is nuclear. The NDA alone is questionable, but the pattern of concealment, the gambling debts, can we use it? Use it! Christine, this isn't just leverage. This is a complete dismantling of their whole narrative. She starts organizing papers into files. But are you sure you want to go this far? Exposing this could destroy them. I pick up one of the hospital bills looking at the date. It was from the same month I maxed out my credit card saving their house. They're planning to sell my house, the house I saved, to pay off Bentley's gambling debts. Meanwhile, they've been paying hush money to hide their grandchild. I meet Jolie's eyes. They destroyed themselves. I'm just going to make sure they know it. The brunch is tomorrow? I nod. Then let's get everything ready. Jolie pulls out her laptop. But Christine, after this, there's no going back. No family holidays, no reconciliation. Are you prepared for that? I think about Jamie, growing up without a father because my parents chose to protect Bentley's reputation instead of his responsibility. I think about all my sacrifices dismissed as what successful daughters do. Family? I say, picking up Vanessa's photos. They stopped being family long before this. They just didn't know it yet. My phone buzzes again, another text from Mom. Wear something nice tomorrow. Our last family brunch in the old house should be special. Oh, it will be special, I think. Just not in the way you're expecting. The brunch spread looks perfect. Fresh croissants, smoked salmon, and mimosas made with the cheap sparkling wine I brought. Mom's using her best china, the set she usually reserves for special occasions. If she only knew how special this one would be. Christine, darling. Mom air kisses my cheek. You remember Patricia from the real estate agency? Jolie, playing her part perfectly, extends her hand. Please call me Patty. So excited to help with this transaction. Bentley slouches in, looking hungover. Dad follows, already talking about golf courses near their future condo. The table is set for 5, a perfect little family scene. For now. Before we eat, Mom raises her mimosa. I want to toast to new beginnings, to Bentley's exciting venture, and to Christine for helping with all the paperwork. We clink glasses. I watch them drink, remembering Vanessa's photos, wondering if Mom ever toasted her grandson's birth while writing those hush money checks. Speaking of paperwork, Jolie pulls out a leather portfolio. Shall we handle the formalities first? Then we can celebrate properly. Always efficient, just like her mother. Dad beams at me. The pride feels hollow now, a performance for our guests. Jolie spreads out the documents, carefully prepared, legally binding, and absolutely not what they think they're signing. Standard property transfer forms, nothing complicated. I've got the buyers lined up already, I add, watching Bentley perk up at the mention of money. They're very eager. Mom starts signing without reading, just like she did with Vanessa's NDA. Dad follows suit, pausing only to adjust his reading glasses. Bentley scrawls his signature with a flourish, probably already mentally spending his share. Christine? Jolie slides the final paper to me. Just need your signature as the witness. I sign my name slowly, savoring the moment. In a single stroke, everything changes, though they don't know it yet. Wonderful! Mom claps her hands. Now let's eat. Christine, serve your brother first. He's got a big day of business planning ahead. I pass the platters, watching them eat, drink, and chatter about their plans. Mom talks about condo decorating. Dad discusses golf memberships. Bentley brags about projected CBD sales figures that we all know are lies. Actually, I set down my fork. I have something special planned for dessert. I pull out an envelope, identical to the one Vanessa gave me, and place it on the table. What's this? Mom reaches for it. Open it. Inside are copies of everything: the original deed in my name, the power of attorney document, Vanessa's evidence, the gambling receipts. With each paper they pull out, their faces grow paler. I don't understand. Dad's voice shakes. These papers? The house is in your name? Has been for 5 years. I take a sip of mimosa. Ever since I saved it from foreclosure after your failed investment scheme. Mom's hands tremble. But we just signed a transfer of all remaining property rights to me. Jolie drops her real estate agent act. Along with full financial power of attorney, I'm not Patricia from real estate. I'm Jolie, Christine's attorney. Bentley stands so fast his chair falls backward. You can't do this. I already did. I pull out one final document, Vanessa's photos. Just like you already did this, brother dear. How is my nephew Jamie, by the way? Still paying Mom's hush money to keep him hidden? The color drains from Mom's face. Dad's hands curl into fists. You ungrateful little, he starts. Careful, Jolie interrupts. Everything you say is being recorded, for legal purposes, of course. I stand smoothing my dress. The house isn't being sold. Not to fund Bentley's gambling debts disguised as a CBD startup. Not to pay off loan sharks. Not for anything. But we're your parents, Mom whispers. No, you're the people who made me earn your love while giving it freely to him, who used me as your personal bank while hiding my own nephew from me, who tried to sell my house, the one I saved, without even asking me. Bentley lunges for the papers, but Jolie's faster, sliding them into her briefcase. Copies are already filed with the court, she says calmly. You have 1 week to vacate the property, I tell them. All of you. The condo search just became urgent. You'll regret this, Mom hisses, her mask finally cracking. Bentley is my only real child anyway. You were just a mistake we had to keep. I pick up my purse, letting her words wash over me. Enjoy the mimosas. They're as fake as this family has always been. Walking out, I hear Bentley's rage, Mom's sobs, Dad's stunned silence. But all I feel is light, like I finally set down a weight I've carried my whole life. They toasted their betrayal, and I just toasted their downfall. 1 week later, I sit in Jolie's conference room, watching my family file in like defendants at a trial. Mom's wearing her I need sympathy outfit. Pastel sweater set, pearls, subtle makeup to highlight her red-rimmed eyes. Dad looks like he's aged a decade. Bentley skulks in last, unshaven and wearing yesterday's clothes. Thank you for coming, Jolie begins, professional as ever. We're here to formally discuss the property transition and financial arrangements. There's nothing to discuss, Dad interrupts. Whatever game you're playing, Christine, it ends now. I slide a folder across the table. Actually, it's just beginning. Open it. Inside are bank statements, credit card bills, and property tax records. 5 years of financial receipts showing exactly how much I paid to keep them afloat. $273,000, I say quietly. That's how much I've spent saving your house, paying your bills, cleaning up your messes, all while you funded Bentley's ventures. Mom pushes the folder away. We're your parents. That's what children do. They help their family. Funny, that rule never seemed to apply to Bentley. Leave me out of this, Bentley snaps. Like you left your son out of your life? I pull out Vanessa's photos. Jamie looks just like you, by the way. Same green eyes. Mom lunges for the photos. Those were private. How dare you? Private, I laugh. Like the college acceptance letters you hid from me, the scholarship offers you threw away because you needed me close by to manage your finances. Dad's face goes pale. How did you? I found them last week while cleaning out the attic. Full rides to Harvard, Stanford, Yale, all returned to sender by my loving mother because, and I quote from your diary, Christine needs to stay here to help with Bentley's future. Jolie clears her throat. Let's focus on the current situation. The property transfer is complete and legally binding. You have 6 more days to vacate. You can't just throw us out. Bentley stands, looming over the table. I have rights. You have gambling debts, I correct him, to some very dangerous people. Should we call them? Let them know about the house situation? He sits back down, deflated. This isn't about the house, Mom's voice breaks. This is about punishing us. Why are you being so cruel? Cruel? I open another folder, like making Vanessa sign an NDA, like paying her to disappear with your grandchild, or like watching me work 3 jobs in college while sending Bentley monthly allowances for his party lifestyle. We did what was best for this family, Mom shouts. No, you did what was easiest for you, and now you're facing the consequences. Dad adjusts his glasses, trying to regain control. We can fight this in court. With what money? Jolie asks. The house equity you no longer have? The savings you've drained? The credit cards that are maxed out, funding your son's gambling addiction? Bentley jumps up again. You don't know anything about— Sit down, I cut him off. The loan sharks you owe money to? They work with my firm's biggest client. One phone call and they'll know exactly where to find you. The room goes silent. Mom's crying now, real tears replacing the theatrical ones. Why? Dad asks finally. Why do this to us? I stand slowly, placing my hands on the table. Because last week you tried to sell my house, the house I saved, to enable Bentley one more time. Because you told me I didn't need memories while hiding my nephew's existence. Because for 34 years I've watched you destroy this family while blaming everyone but yourselves. Bentley is my only real child, Mom spits out. I never wanted— I know, Mom. I was a mistake you had to keep. You made that very clear at brunch. I gather my papers. But here's the thing about mistakes. Sometimes they come back to teach you lessons. The property must be vacated by next Friday, Jolie states. All utilities will be disconnected Saturday morning. Any remaining possessions will be considered abandoned. And where are we supposed to go? Bentley demands. I reach for my purse. That sounds like a family problem. But since I'm not really family, just a mistake you had to keep, I'll leave you to figure it out. Walking to the door, I pause. Oh, and Mom? Vanessa's NDA is void. I've already arranged for Jamie to receive a trust fund for his education, since his father and grandparents couldn't be bothered to provide for his future. The last thing I hear as I leave is Mom's wail of rage and Dad's broken whisper, What have we done? What indeed, I think, stepping into the elevator. What indeed? The moving truck pulls away from the house, leaving Mom, Dad, and Bentley standing in the driveway like abandoned statues. They refused my offer to help coordinate their move, instead spending the week alternating between desperate bargaining and cold silence. Your things are in storage, I tell them, handing over the key cards. Unit numbers and access codes are in the envelopes. This isn't over, Bentley snarls, crumpling his envelope. Actually, it is. I unlock my phone, showing him a screen full of text messages. Your loan sharks send their regards. Funny how reasonable they became when I offered to settle your debts in exchange for leaving you alone. Mom steps forward, arms crossed. You paid his debts? Consider it a parting gift, one last cleanup of Bentley's mess. I turned to face her, though I did have to sell your precious antique jewelry collection to cover it. Amazing what family heirlooms can fetch at auction. You had no right, she gasps. I had every right. Power of attorney, remember, signed by your own hand over mimosas. Dad hasn't spoken yet, just stands there clutching a photo album he refused to pack away. The memories in this house. We'll stay with the house, I finish, where they belong. A sleek black SUV pulls up. Vanessa steps out, holding Jamie's hand. The toddler looks around curiously, his green eyes, Bentley's eyes, taking in the strangers before him. Right on time, I say, walking over to greet them. Mom makes a choked sound. Is that your grandson? Yes. I lift Jamie up, settling him on my hip. Vanessa and Jamie are moving in next week. I'm giving them the house. You're what? Bentley lurches forward, but Dad holds him back. The house needs a real family, I explain. One built on love and truth, not manipulation and lies. Jamie deserves to grow up somewhere his mother isn't paid to keep quiet. Vanessa joins us, her head held high. The NDA is destroyed. Jamie will know exactly who his father is and exactly why he chose not to be in his life. You can't do this to us, Mom pleads. We're your parents. No, I hand Jamie back to Vanessa. You're the people who raised me to clean up your messes while teaching Bentley he'd never have to face consequences. Consider this your final lesson in accountability. A police car cruises by slowly, the security detail I arrange until my family accepts their new reality. Bentley sees it and kicks the ground like an angry teenager. The storage units are paid for 3 months, I continue. That should give you time to find new arrangements. After that, anything left becomes property of the facility. And where do we go now? Dad asks quietly. I pull out one last envelope. Your old college roommate still runs that retirement community in Florida, Dad. He's expecting your call. As for Bentley, I glance at my brother. The CBD industry is booming in Colorado. Maybe try starting fresh somewhere nobody knows your history. You've thought of everything, haven't you? Mom's voice is bitter. Planned our whole exile? Just like you planned my whole life without asking what I wanted. I start walking toward my car. Goodbye, Mom, Dad, Bentley. Wait, Dad calls out. I turn back. He fumbles with the photo album, pulls out a picture, and holds it out with trembling hands. It shows me at age 6 sitting on his shoulders at a carnival. On the back, in his neat handwriting, my favorite always. Keep it, I say. Consider it a reminder of what you threw away. Later that evening, I sit in my apartment watching the sunset through floor-to-ceiling windows. My phone keeps lighting up with messages. Mom, you'll regret this when you're older. Delete. Bentley, you think you're so perfect, you'll fail too someday. Delete. Dad, please reconsider. We can fix this. Delete. Jolie, how are you holding up? I start typing. Like I just performed an amputation without anesthesia. A new message pops up from Vanessa. Jamie asked about the house today. I told him his Aunt Christine made sure he'd always have a home where truth matters more than appearances. I smile, saving that message. My doorbell rings. It's my elderly neighbor holding a casserole dish. Thought you might need some comfort food, dear. Breakups are hard even when they're with family. I accept the dish, touched by this simple kindness. Thank you. You know, she says, patting my arm, sometimes the bravest thing we can do is stop setting ourselves on fire to keep others warm. I close the door and slide down against it, holding the warm casserole dish like an anchor. Tomorrow, I'll start therapy. Jolie's been insisting. Tomorrow, I'll begin learning who I am without the weight of their expectations. But tonight, I let myself feel the full impact of what I've done. It hurts, but it's a clean hurt, like setting a broken bone so it can finally heal straight. 3 months after the exodus, I stand in the empty house one last time. The walls have been repainted, the floors refinished. Every trace of my family's presence has been methodically erased, like removing a stain that's set too deep. My phone buzzes. Jolie. Court date set for tomorrow. Bentley's really going through with the lawsuit. I type back, let him try. The doorbell rings. Vanessa and Jamie are early for the final walkthrough. Sorry, she says as Jamie races past me to explore. He couldn't wait to see his new home. Aunt Chrissy? Jamie barrels back, wrapping himself around my legs. Is this my room? He points upstairs. Even better. I lead him to my old bedroom. This was my secret reading spot when I was little. The window seat still fits me perfectly. Jamie climbs up, pressing his face against the glass. I can see everything from here. Vanessa leans against the doorframe. You sure about this? Giving us the house? More sure than I've ever been. I watch Jamie discovering the built-in bookshelf. Besides, I've got something better planned for myself. My phone buzzes again, an email from the Women's Shelter Foundation. Final approval for the property donation has come through. Everything except this house will be transformed into a sanctuary for mothers and children escaping toxic families. Did you hear from them? Vanessa asks quietly. Mom's still posting passive-aggressive Bible quotes on Facebook. Dad's drinking his way through Florida. And Bentley. I shake my head. Well, tomorrow's court appearance should be interesting. Jamie tugs my sleeve. Can we get a dog? Mom says we need to ask you first because you're the boss. I laugh. My first real laugh in months. I think that's up to your mom now. This is your house? Later in the kitchen, Vanessa hands me a coffee. The lawyer said Bentley's case is weak. It's not just weak, it's desperate. I pull out my phone, showing her the evidence file. He claims I manipulated them into signing over their rights. Wait until the judge sees the video from that brunch. Your mom called me yesterday, Vanessa says suddenly. Wanted to arrange visits with Jamie? My hand tightens around the coffee cup. And? I told her she lost that right when she paid me to disappear. Vanessa's voice hardens. Some bridges stay burned. A car pulls up outside. Jolie, right on time with the final paperwork. Ready to make this official? She asks, spreading documents across the kitchen counter. I sign where indicated, each signature feeling like another lock clicking into place. When I finish, Jolie hands me a newspaper. Page 6, she says. Someone leaked the story to the press. The headline reads, Local Financial Consultant Donates $1 million Estate to Women's Shelter Foundation. Below in smaller print, Family Drama Leads to Charitable Revolution. They'll hate this, I murmur. Good. Jolie gathers her papers. See you in court tomorrow? I nod. Front row. I want Bentley to see exactly who he's up against. After everyone leaves, I take one final walk through the house. In my old room, Jamie has already left his mark, a crayon drawing taped to the window seat. It shows 4 figures, him, Vanessa, a dog, ever hopeful, and me. My phone chimes with a text from an unknown number. I open it to find a photo of Dad, drunk at his Florida complex's tiki bar, wearing a World's Best Father shirt someone must have given him as a cruel joke. Below it, a message from his neighbor. Thought you should know. He cries about you every night. I block the number. In the foyer, I pause at the family portrait wall, now empty except for one frame. Inside is Jamie's drawing, the only family photo this house needs now. My phone buzzes one last time, an email notification from Margaret Ward. Subject, your father. Message, he had a heart attack this morning. Minor, doctors say, but he keeps asking for you. Please, Christine, don't let your revenge kill him. Don't make me lose both my children. I stare at the screen, feeling nothing but a dull certainty. Opening the reply window, I type, You lost me years ago. You just didn't notice because Bentley took up all the space in your heart. I'll send flowers. Separate. Christine P.S. Tell Dad his favorite daughter hopes he remembers this feeling next time he chooses sides. Outside, the moving truck arrives for Vanessa and Jamie. New furniture, new beginnings, new stories to fill these walls. Ready? Vanessa calls from the driveway. I look back at the house one last time. Tomorrow I'll face Bentley in court. Next week I'll start construction on the women's shelter. But right now, watching Jamie bounce with excitement about his new home, I realize something. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about destroying your enemies. Sometimes it's about building something beautiful from the ashes they left behind. The courthouse steps are slick with autumn rain as I climb them, Jolie beside me carrying the final piece of evidence we've kept in reserve. Inside, Bentley's already seated with his cut-rate lawyer, wearing a borrowed suit that doesn't quite fit. Last chance to settle, his lawyer approaches us. My client is willing to. Your client is about to be very publicly humiliated, Jolie interrupts. I'd save your breath. Mom and Dad slip in just before proceedings begin. Dad looks frail after his heart attack, Mom clutching his arm like a lifeline. They don't meet my eyes. All rise, the bailiff calls. The judge, a stern-faced woman in her 60s, reviews the preliminary documents. This is a civil case regarding property rights and alleged financial manipulation. Counsel, proceed. Bentley's lawyer stands, straightening his cheap tie. Your Honor, my client was coerced into signing away his rightful inheritance through deliberate deception and— Objection, Jolie rises. The property in question was never an inheritance. We have documentation proving Ms. Christine purchased the home outright 5 years ago. Documentation obtained through suspicious means. Jolie smiles. Actually, Your Honor, we have video evidence of the entire transaction, including Mr. Bentley's admission of intended fraud. The courtroom screen flickers to life, showing the brunch scene, every word crystal clear, every signature voluntary, and then, most damning of all, Bentley's drunken confession about the gambling debts, recorded the night before the signing. Mom gasps. Dad's head drops into his hands. Furthermore, Jolie continues, opening the folder we've kept secret until now, we have evidence of Mr. Bentley's attempt to bribe a court clerk to backdate property documents recorded yesterday. Bentley jumps up. That's a lie. Sit down, his lawyer hisses, but it's too late. Would you like to explain these photographs, Mr. Ward? The judge holds up crystal clear images of Bentley passing money to a clerk, actually an undercover investigator Jolie hired, anticipating his desperation. The case unravels in minutes. The judge's ruling is decisive. Case dismissed with prejudice. Additional charges pending for attempted court fraud. Christine! Mom catches me in the hallway afterward. Please, we can still fix this as a family. Family? I turn to face her. Let me tell you about family. I pull out my phone, showing her the latest photo from Vanessa. Jamie reading in my old window seat, surrounded by love and honesty. That's family, not secrets, not manipulation, not choosing one child over another. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a shelter foundation to run. Wait, Dad's voice cracks. I found these in the storage unit. He hands me a stack of letters, yellowed with age, college acceptance letters, scholarship offers, dreams they buried to keep me tethered to their needs. I never knew your mother hid these, he whispers. I should have known, should have seen what we were doing to you. Yes, I say simply, you should have. I leave them there, standing in the marble hallway with their regrets. Outside, the rain has stopped. My phone buzzes with a text from Vanessa. Jamie asked if you're coming for dinner tonight. He made you a new drawing. I smile, typing back. Wouldn't miss it. You okay? Jolie asks, falling into step beside me. You know what? I actually am. I pause at the bottom of the steps. The shelter's first families move in next week. The house is filled with love instead of lies. And I finally know who I am without their shadow over me. And who is that? I think about Jamie's drawings, about Vanessa's strength, about the women and children who will find safety in the properties I've transformed. Someone who breaks cycles instead of perpetuating them, I answer. That evening, sitting in my old window seat with Jamie showing me his latest masterpiece, a crayon rendering of his new dog, Vanessa finally said yes. I feel the last pieces click into place. My phone lights up one final time. A message from Dad. I'm starting therapy next week. Too late to fix the past, but maybe not too late to understand it. I'm sorry we made you carry us for so long. The daughter I called my favorite deserved better parents than we knew how to be. I show the message to Vanessa. She reads it, then looks at me questioningly. Are you going to respond? I watch Jamie with his dog in this house now filled with new memories. No, I say finally. Some stories are better left ended. Because that's the thing about karma and consequences. They don't always come with neat resolutions or happy reunions. Sometimes they just come with clarity, with peace, and with the quiet certainty that breaking free was worth every painful step. And sometimes that's more than enough.